Hello everyone, Joshua Short with you alongside Lauren Moss inside of our newsroom. It is a Friday and it feels like a Friday. So much stuff happening this weekend,
right?
Oh
yeah, we got the Elkhart County 4-H Fair, Farmers Market, some theater shows coming up. I mean, you name it, it's in town this weekend.
And there's nothing short of fun and activities and things for you and the family to do, which is why we're doing this Facebook Live, because we are tracking the threat of potential severe weather for tomorrow. There's a window you need to know about, because part of that window includes the afternoon, which you said, a lot of activities happening, a lot of people may be outside.
Middle of summertime. So with that, let's go check in with First Alert meteorologist Andrew Whitmyer. Andrew, you've been tracking this down to a T. What's the latest right now?
Yeah, and we were first alerting all week long that this weekend we would have some unsettled weather. And as we are getting closer towards the weekend, it continued to look like Saturday was likely our greatest day to have some inconvenience as far as the weather goes. Overall, I still don't think this is going to be a big concern as far as widespread severe weather goes. But our team is concerned with the fact that it's a weekend in July, a Saturday in July where everyone is outdoors. And of course, we have the Elkhart County 4-H Fair also going on as well. And our team is concerned for at least some scattered thunderstorms moving on into Michiana sometime into the afternoon hours between 1 and 5 p.m., which is why our team has designated now a Saturday as a first alert weather day, just to make sure everyone's paying extra attention to the weather here in Michiana. So what we're going to watch for tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. is likely a line of thunderstorms that will likely move on into Michiana. If you remember back into Wednesday, we had a very similar situation showing on up. And as this line moves on through Michiana, it will bring with it some very heavy rainfall. It's going to feel very, very sticky, very uncomfortable from when we go to bed tonight to when we wake up tomorrow morning. So all of that juice in the air, and that's going to lead to some potential for isolated areas to pick up a quick 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Now that will be isolated. I think most of Michiana kind of picks up around that 1/4 to 1/2 inch rainfall rate, but there will be some isolated areas that'll quickly pick up between 1 and 2 inches of rainfall. And there will also be the potential of a quick gust of wind that could be anywhere from around 40 to 60 miles per hour. And of course, whenever you've got a line of storms coming on through, or storms in general, lightning will be around. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you hear thunder, it's time to head indoors. Here's what Feeder Track is looking like for the rest of today. Pretty quiet out there for the remainder of this Friday. But what we're going to watch closely in the data, and we're going to get a brand new batch of data coming up here on First Alert Weather on 16 News Now, starting at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. So over the course of the next hour, we will see some changes to First Alert Weather Feature Track, and we'll show you that on WNDU starting in about an hour. But already around midnight, we're going to watch for this complex of storms to begin to fire on off back into Minnesota, back around the Twin Cities. As that works its way towards the south, it's going to encounter, again at 8 a.m., some more stable air. So I expect a lot of that to kind of begin to fizzle on out, or really begin to weaken. But what we're going to watch ahead of that is if we can get any type of clearing ahead of that main line that is going to develop later on tonight back around the Twin Cities. And what forms in this area will likely head on into our region by the time we transition on into Saturday afternoon. Here we are paused at 3 p.m. I think a lot of this is a bigger bark than bite. Some heavy rain, some loud storms, and a quick gust of wind around 40 to 60 miles per hour as it moves its way through Michiana as the biggest threat. And good news for any of you that have outdoor plans for tomorrow evening. I know Josh, he's going to be blowing up my phone all day tomorrow asking about these storm chances rolling on in with the TI concert over at the Elkhart County 4-H Fairgrounds. Good news, by around 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, Feeder Track really begins to move that line of thunderstorms out of Michiana. So the window that we're going to watch for tomorrow's First Alert Weather Day is really in the afternoon. Kind of a 4-hour window I'm giving us right now between 1 p.m. for these storms to move on in, and should be exiting around 5, 6 p.m. tomorrow late afternoon for a potential of a somewhat of a line moving through a portion of Michiana. Again, overall, should be a bigger bark than bite. Shouldn't be too rowdy as far as severe weather goes, but I would not be surprised if we get at least a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings. A quick gust of wind that could be around 60 miles per hour. And of course, this is going to bring with it some very heavy rainfall, as well as, again, the potential of some lightning with this as well.
It's so funny. I wanted to bring this up to you because people always say, well, wait, that was nothing. Why did you do this Facebook Live if it was nothing? And then a great example is Wednesday when we had out of nowhere at around 6:45 that shower that came through and those dark clouds, it didn't last for more than 45 minutes.
The wind was bad.
But the winds were howling too, and people were like, oh, I didn't expect this. Well, we told you it was coming, and the reason we're doing this is because although there's a small chance of severe weather, the reason we're doing it is because there are going to be so many people outside. So you talked about that window of time. Can you talk about that time again?
Yeah, let's go ahead and rehash out Future Track here. And again, this evening, if you're watching this Facebook Live, this is not for this evening. It's going to be a great feel out there. We're really breaking up the cloud cover right now. But what we're going to watch with Future Track is what's going to develop down around the Twin Cities tonight and what forms in central Illinois throughout tomorrow morning, tomorrow early afternoon. And it's the combination of this that could move a complex of storms in Michiana. But there's still some questions that we're going to iron out in the data. One is cloud cover tomorrow morning, tomorrow early afternoon ahead of whatever line or whatever storms do develop off to our west and north, and if there could be one or two sneaky stray storms that pop up ahead of this line that really could take away some of the fuel, if you will, for whatever moves through Michiana tomorrow afternoon. But the best timing right now for a line of thunderstorms to potentially move through Michiana looking like the afternoon of tomorrow between 1 and 5 p.m. Again, overall, I don't expect it to be a very big concern as far as widespread severe weather, but I do want us to be on alert for some lightning, a quick gust of wind 40 to 60 miles per hour, as well as some brief, very heavy rainfall. Some localized areas, Josh and Lauren, will pick up over 1 to 2 inches of rain as this moves on through, while others say, hey, it was just enough to really wet the pavement, and that was it for my location, while others are going to say, hey, the fields in my area are flooded. That's the type of scenario we're going to deal with for tomorrow.
And this comes at a time, a kind of a weird time. You know, it was almost chilly this morning. Now it's heating up outside. It's getting really humid. And then add on the 100+ degrees that we're having next week as well.
Can you talk about that a little bit, that heat index we're preparing for next week?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the heat index for next week. Tomorrow, the heat index could be climbing around 90, 95 degrees, but a larger heat likely moving on in next week. Where our team yesterday came out with an extensive, long duration kind of first alert weather day, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to go ahead and include Friday now this evening as well, kind of the end of next week, where it's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's kind of less about the low to mid 90s headed our way for the physical temperature. It's more about the humidity. We're going to look at dew points late next week, starting Wednesday, that could be around the upper 70s, lower 80s for that dew point temperature, which technically that's about as humid as it can physically get here in Michiana. It's going to feel very, very heavy, very, very gross outside towards the mid portion of the upcoming week. And that's going to put the heat index value around 105 to 110 degrees, with some areas that could get very close to maybe around 115 degrees for that feel-like temperature between 3 and 6 p.m. in the afternoon hours. Again, that's for next Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, where it's just going to feel very, very uncomfortable here at home.
Okay, we will be prepared for the heat wave next week and obviously for this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Really quickly, someone said the timing. You see it right there for tomorrow. We're talking Saturday tomorrow, busy day for a lot of people in our area. 1 to 5 is the timing, and then you also see what the expectations is right there on your screen. And you're going to have an updated information at 4 o'clock. Do I have that right, Andrew?
Yeah, we're getting brand new data right now just coming into first alert weather, so that'll continue to come in over the next hour. I'll be analyzing it, and we'll have a brand new update with Future Track starting at 4 on WNDU all the way through 6:30 p.m. And I'll include a link as we start our 4 o'clock show to the free WNDU First Alert weather app. That way, if you're not near a television screen, you can watch us right on your smartphone. If you have the free WNDU First Alert weather app, you'll get a push right before our newscast. You click on that, it'll give you a link that you can click on, and then you can stream us live from wherever you're at, just in case if you're busy this evening.
Yeah, again, not to scare you, but if you're going outside this weekend, and we know so many of you are, you got to stay weather aware.
Yeah, 1 to 5, not to scare you, but to prepare you. Andrew, we will see you shortly, and we will see all of you guys shortly as well when we join you tonight at 4 o'clock. We appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you for this update. I know a lot of people appreciate it as well. Like I said, we'll have the very latest information with Andrew coming up in just a couple hours, in less than an hour.
1 hour. We'll be live at 4 o'clock, so we'll see you then.
Okay, thanks for watching.